What Lucas did not realize was that real change does not look dramatic. There are no fireworks, no music, no applause. Real change is quiet. It happens inside you, before it shows outside. The first week, Lucas still felt resistance. His body complained. His mind negotiated, but something subtle was beginning to happen. His brain was rewiring. Every time he woke up at 5 a.m., and even when he did not want to, he sent a signal to himself. I keep promises. And identity is built on repeated signals. Not motivation, not inspiration, not emotion, signals. When you repeat an action, your brain starts asking a new question. Instead of, should I do this? It becomes, this is what I do. That shift changes everything. Most people believe discipline is about willpower, but willpower is limited. It gets tired. It gets distracted. It gets emotional. Lucas learned something important. Discipline is not a fight against weakness. It is training for alignment. Alignment between who you are and who you want to become. Every morning he faced two versions of himself. Version 1, the comfortable Lucas, the safe Lucas, the familiar Lucas. Version 2, the future Lucas, the disciplined Lucas, the steady Lucas. The war was not about sleep, it was about identity. And identity is emotional. That is why change feels personal. It feels uncomfortable because you are letting go of a version of yourself, even if that version is not helping you. Have you noticed something? When you try something new, the first few days feel exciting. Then suddenly, it feels heavier. This is called the dip. At first, novelty carries you, but novelty fades. Then structure must carry you. Most people quit in the dip, not because they are incapable, but because the excitement disappears. Lucas felt that dip on day 5, on day 6, on day 7. Nothing magical happened. No dramatic results, no visible transformation, just repetition. And repetition feels boring. But repetition is where strength grows. Muscles grow through repetition. Focus grows through repetition. Confidence grows through repetition. Identity grows through repetition. Lucas began to understand this. He stopped waiting to feel inspired. He started showing up, even when it felt neutral. That is maturity. One morning, Lucas woke up before the alarm rang. He opened his eyes and looked at the ceiling. It was still dark. But he did not feel resistance. He did not feel negotiation. He simply felt ready. Not excited, not dramatic, just ready. And that was different. He sat up. He smiled slightly. Not because he had conquered something, but because he no longer needed to convince himself. The habit had moved from effort to identity, and identity does not argue. Something else changed. Lucas started respecting himself more, not because he was perfect, but because he was consistent. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-trust, and self-trust is more powerful than motivation. When you break promises to yourself, your confidence weakens. When you keep them, even small ones, your confidence strengthens. Lucas noticed something surprising. He felt calmer during the day, more focused, more stable, more intentional. Waking up early did not magically solve his life, but it changed how he saw himself. He was no longer someone who tries, he was someone who follows through. That difference is everything. Discipline is not punishment. It is structure. It is not suffering. It is direction. It is not about being harsh. It is about being clear. Clear about what matters. Clear about what you are building. Clear about the person you want to become. Lucas stopped asking, "Do I feel like it?" He started asking, "Is this aligned with who I am becoming?" That question removed emotion from the decision. And when emotion stops controlling you, progress accelerates. There were mornings when Lucas walked outside and the streets were empty. The world was still asleep. Sometimes he felt alone. Growth can feel lonely, not because no one supports you, but because change is personal. Not everyone around you will wake up at 5 a.m. Not everyone will understand your choices. Not everyone will change with you, and that is okay. Growth does not require a crowd. It requires commitment. Lucas realized he was not competing with other people. He was competing with yesterday's version of himself, and that competition was enough. Lucas did not transform overnight. His body did not change dramatically. His life did not suddenly explode with success, but small wins accumulated. He felt sharper in conversations, more organized in his schedule, more patient under stress. Because discipline in one area creates strength in others. When you master your morning, you influence your day. When you influence your day, you influence your future. Small habits create compound results, just like interest in a bank account. Invisible at first, powerful over time. After several months, Lucas no longer said, "I am trying to wake up early." He said, "I wake up early." That difference seems small, but it changes behavior. When something becomes part of your identity, you protect it, you defend it, you maintain it. You no longer need motivation because it feels normal. And what feels normal requires no negotiation. Maybe you are in the dip right now. Maybe your new habit feels heavier than expected. Maybe your motivation has disappeared. Maybe you are questioning yourself. Before you quit, ask yourself one thing. Is this pain or is this growth? If it is growth, stay. Stay through the discomfort. Stay through the silence. Stay through the doubt, because doubt is often the door to transformation. Discipline feels hard in the beginning because your old self is resisting change. But if you stay long enough, your new self will take over. You do not need drama. You do not need applause. You do not need validation. You need repetition. You need patience. You need quiet consistency. One morning at a time, one decision at a time, one promise kept at a time. Lucas did not become perfect. He became consistent. And consistency is more powerful than motivation. If discipline feels uncomfortable today, it does not mean you are weak. It means you are becoming someone new. Stay consistent, stay steady, stay long enough to see who you are becoming. This is your slow English reminder. Growth is quiet. Identity is built in silence. And the beginning is always the hardest part, but it is also the most important. See you in the next story.